Hello and welcome to Insights in Action with Orange 142, where we interview agency leaders and business owners to uncover the journeys, the strategies, and the insights that drive their success. At Orange 142, we're all about transforming brand stories into impactful digital experiences through innovative media and marketing solutions. And today I'm very lucky to be joined by Paul of Drum Creative. How's it going, Paul?
Great, great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for being on, Paul. And to start this off, I'd really love to understand a little bit more about you and your background, Paul, and a little bit more about Drum Creative.
Absolutely. So I've been in the business 30 some years now, and I started in an in-house hospital, actually. When I graduated, went straight in as a graphic designer. They had a communications department. Moved on from there to a small marketing firm. And from there, I went to a large agency here in the Southeast area. And then now I'm at a small web design and branding company. So I've done the gamut and got a little
Wow,
taste of each area.
wow, that's amazing. And how is that? You're talking about your career and you've done a lot of stuff all over, but like how has that foundational experience shaped your approach to the integrated design services that you guys offer at Drum Creative?
Gotcha. That's a great question. It's neat. I look back at my career and each job prepared me for the next one, even though I didn't know what that was going to be. So it's been a fun journey. I think a really specific answer to your question that I love is when I came here where I am currently at Drum Creative, I was in school and learned print design and digital
Mhm.
wasn't a thing. Websites were just coming into fashion. So I didn't do digital design at all, much less web design. This company I'm at now is 70 to 80% web design. So I remember on my interview, I asked the owner, I said, I'm going to ask the obvious question. Why do you want me when I don't have design experience or web design experience? And he said, you have all the tools that we need. You've been in
Mhm.
the industry, you have all the foundational design elements that you've learned and you've used. We can
Uh,
teach you web design. It's just a tool, just like any other design element. That's why we want you. So I'll never forget that. And he did. I learned web design and I ended up loving it. So
It's awesome. Wow, that's really interesting and cool for the owner to
yeah,
understand where your value truly lied.
absolutely.
Yeah. With a diverse mix of clients from manufacturing and construction to tourism and finance, what strategies do you guys use to tailor your design approach to such varied industries?
That's another good question. We do the advantage of working in a smaller shop is you do get a lot of diverse clients. You're not stuck with one or two clients and it doesn't get old because there's always something new. So I think the bigger trick, so I've got three designers, I oversee them,
Mhm.
and I try to mix up what I give each one so they each get a sampling of different industries to keep it fresh and keep it different. The challenge is one of our clients is construction. So when we get some other manufacturing clients, we don't want to duplicate what we're doing with that client, what we're doing with another client. So it's a good challenge though, but it's fun too. Like I said, because you do have a diverse clientele, you're always learning about different industries so that you do your best design and your best content work as you work on their sites.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. So you're particularly interested in stylescapes and so
Uh,
for those who aren't familiar, can you explain what stylescapes are and why they're a powerful tool in the creative process?
Absolutely. So I had heard this word thrown around through interns in the past, and I did some digging and found Chris Doe at the Future, actually in California, started the Stylescapes, and so I signed up for his course and just completely immersed myself in it. Loved it. We have adopted it here. We've been doing it for almost a year. Our clients love it. In its simplest form, it's a visual roadmap for your brand, right? So it's defining the look and feel. You're using fonts and colors and imagery before we actually start design. The beauty of it is you want to get everyone lined up from the start, including your clients, so that the vision you're casting with the stylescape is to their liking. And if they approve it and they like it, with all these things you're showing them, then we start the design process. The logos, the homepage design, print pieces all point back to the stylescape that we start with. So
Wow.
it's been a wonderful tool.
That's really interesting. Would you say that the real value of that is something in like bringing both your team and your clients together to agree that this is what, or is it just the fact that you guys are like, hey, here's the stylescape? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. It's rare that they have many changes, but also, oh, let me back up and say we also provide two stylescapes. This is what Chris suggests.
Okay.
You can do a mild, medium, and spicy. We just tailor it to mild and spicy. So the spicy is a little more out there, but I would say probably 8 out of 10 of our clients combine the two. They're like, oh, we like this one, but can we pull some elements of the second one into this one? And we definitely can. One thing we always say is nothing is concrete. This is the time to make changes before we dive into your design.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it saves time and money on the back end. So you're not guessing at what they
Yeah.
might like or what I like as a designer. I show
Yeah.
them I love this, but they may not love it because it's not
Yeah.
what's in their head. It takes a lot of guessing out, which
Yeah.
is huge, very huge.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting, and I like the fact that you guys provide two options because
Mhm.
I feel like in a lot of branding, it's just like, hey, here's what we came up with. Do you like it or not?
Exactly, exactly.
How do you see the evolution of digital and web design trends influencing the way that brands communicate their identity and values today?
Oh, wow. Let's see. That is another good question. I think what this might be a side off from your question,
Mhm.
but as
Oh,
you as well as so many others out there are trying to implement AI more in their work, we're trying to pull that in more. For example, this might answer your question. If not, let me know. We've done some digging around. We're finding sites where AI can actually help you with font pairings and colors, things that again can make your job faster and better and
yeah,
not replacing necessarily what you're doing, but it's aiding you in what you're doing.
right.
So in the digital realm and in branding, we're starting to embrace these apps or these different websites that can get us there quicker. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know if that answers your
No,
question
it totally
completely.
does. It totally does. And that's the buzz lately, right? Is AI. And it's really interesting, I think, in a design perspective, because I think that in contrast to coding or whatever, in a design perspective, there's such a large human element in there. There is, you see it in when you have AI create logos. Like they're okay, but you
Right.
can tell that AI did them. There's not that human eye, that like observer or that guider that's guiding the whole process. And that's a little different from code because you could just
Right.
say, hey, write me this code, and that's a pretty one input equals one output. I think it's especially interesting in how it'll affect the future of design because I think it's always going to be especially it's going to be a way to help rather than a way to replace, right?
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah, really interesting. Yeah, but that's the talk of the town these days. What's
There
it
you
doing?
go.
What's it not doing? So, with services like SEO and StoryBrand in your repertoire, how do you guys integrate these strategic elements with visual design to boost overall marketing effectiveness?
Oh, yeah. You touched on some neat things there. As I said earlier, we predominantly do web design. We also have a huge strength with SEO and StoryBrand. So our owner a couple of years ago took the course on StoryBrand. He's a certified StoryBrand guide. That is initially how we like to start our web projects when we have a client sign on to do a website. It's optional, but I'd say 9 out of 10 of our clients actually
Oh,
pick it
wow.
and want to do it. It's very strategic and telling their story. We ask them, it's about a 2 to 3 hour session. We sit down with them and we ask specific questions, and then we can wrap it up in a nice elevator pitch that ends up being your content for your homepage. That in turn, then we hand it off to the designers and we give them a Stylescape questionnaire. They fill that out and we combine the two to create the homepage design. So they really do go hand in hand nicely when the client does agree to do, say, the story brand as well as the Stylescape. And you get a really tight finished product, like I said earlier, that will really guide us in future projects for that client, whether they're print, digital, interior design, trade
Yeah.
shows, all of it goes back to for content, brand story, for visual, the style guide.
Yeah. Wow. That's that's really interesting, and I like how you guys combine all of those elements.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds very cohesive.
It is. And it, like we were talking about earlier, it just takes so much of the guessing out of it because you've
Yeah.
already presented, even content wise, you're showing them things like here's your headline, here are your pain points,
Yeah.
here's the solution, here's why people come to your site because they have a problem, right? They are
Yeah.
coming for something, either a service or a product. And it's
Yeah.
your job to be the authority on that because what makes you different from your competitors and whatnot out there. So we bring
Yeah.
all these things out.
And I think that there's so much value in having an outside agency like yours come in and do that because I think you see it way too much where somebody is, if they have a business, small, medium, or large, they're in it every day. And so they don't have that outside perspective. They think that they're brand is one thing, but it's really your brand is what your
Yes.
clients say about you. And you need to do that research. You need to have somebody else do that research. And I think that's the inherent value proposition that you guys offer. Is that correct?
That is definitely correct. You hit that one on the head.
Cool. Talking about value propositions, as Drum Creative continues to refine its mission, what do you envision as any other unique value proposition that sets your guys' agency apart in such a crowded market?
Hmm. So funny you should ask that. We were a little late on the game getting up to speed with mission. And about 2 years ago, we hired a COO who came in and really helped our culture, helped us get more aligned, right the ship, if you will. So we are actually in the midst of going through that right now as a company. What is our mission? What do we want to portray? What kind of agency are we? So we're working through that. We're way further than we were, like I said, 2 years ago, but we have a little more ways to go.
Yeah.
So I don't have a definitive answer on that at the moment. But I think what was the second part of your question? You had asked about from the mission.
What do you envision as a unique value proposition
Oh,
that sets your guys' agency apart in a crowded market?
so I think number one, it would be StoryBrand because not all agencies are StoryBrand certified. And that's been a game changer for us in the past probably 3 to 4 years, as well as introducing Stylescapes. I think we definitely have a strong SEO presence. We have a guy who's been here for, I think, almost 12 years now, and he knows it inside and out. We hired an entry level guy to help him because we were getting so busy with SEO. Again, trying to introduce AI some more. We've got programmers on board here. We have a social media strategist as well as social media manager. So we're diving more into social media. Believe it or not, we weren't doing this for the longest time, and we really upped our game probably in the last year and a half. So
Yeah.
that has more of a presence what we're doing for ourselves as well as for our clients. Um,
That's awesome. Wow, very cool. Yes. So it's one of the most common things in agencies, right? Where I always butcher that saying, but the son of the cobbler never has any shoes.
yes, yes, you are right.
Yeah. Paul, this has been so great. It's been a pleasure learning about your agency. Where can people learn more about you and where can people learn more about Drum Creative?
Oh, thank you so much. I've enjoyed this too. So we are easy to find, drumcreative.com, right? Just go straight there. We've got, they can check everything out that you and I talked about here today. There's pages devoted to each of these areas, and they can reach out to myself or the owner is Joe LaPenna. He'd be happy to talk to anybody that wants to learn more about StoryBrand, but I can definitely speak to more of the creative end as far as Stylescapes and anything creative.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks again for being on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.